Welcome back to the ThinkorSwim tutorial series, where today we're going to be learning the basics of options trading within ThinkorSwim. To begin, let's go ahead and head up to the Trade tab, second tab at the top of the screen, and specifically focus on the All Products page. Now, looking down below, we can of course see the stock that we're trading right now, or looking at. So in this case, we're looking at Google, last traded for 166.82, some basic information like how many shares were traded. But then more importantly, if we look down a little bit further, right here we've got a nice big option chain for Google. The first thing you're going to notice that the expiration date is listed over here on the left-hand side. So in this case, the 1st of November. We can see in parentheses how far out that is. So in this case, that is 10 days from today. And then if we look way over here on the far right-hand side, we can also see the implied volatility and the implied move for that expiration. You're also going to notice that the weekly options are going to be highlighted in yellow. The standard monthly contracts, so the ones that expire the third Friday of each month, those are going to be in gray. Now, if we want to actually trade one of these and take a look at the option chain below it, all we have to do is click on it. So click on the expiration we want to expand. As soon as we do that, we're going to see a list of the available strike prices right here in the center of our screen. So right here, we're looking at 162.5, 165, 167.5, and 170. You'll notice that by default, the calls and puts are going to share a common strike. So if I was looking at trading the 165 calls, I would look over here on the left. If I was looking at trading the 165 puts, I would look over here on the right. If I instead wanted to go further out of the money, because maybe these 4 strikes aren't quite enough, what I would do is come up here to the top, where I've got this little strikes menu here, and I could either type in how many strikes I wanted to see, or use the little drop-down menu right here. Now, in my case, just for this example, I'm going to go ahead and throw in 20 strikes in here. And now looking down in the center of the screen, we can see our strikes begin at the 135 and go all the way out to 190. You might also notice that the in-the-money options, so if we look over here on the call side, that's all of these. If we look over here on the put side, that's all of these. And you can see that the in-the-money options have kind of a bluish-purple background, whereas the out-of-the-money options have a black background. You might have also noticed the headers up here at the top, so the information that's actually being displayed down below is going to, by default, include the current bid and asking price of that option. We're going to see the last traded price of that option, and we're going to see the net change for the day. So how much was that option up or down today? If you guys ever want to change that, all we have to do is come up here to the layout in the upper left-hand corner, where it currently says last net change. That'll then show you a list of all of the pre-made templates that we could use. So for example, if we came down here to the implied volatility, probability out of the money, and delta columns, if we clicked on that, you're going to see that our columns up here change to match those. So now we're seeing the implied volatility, probability out of the money, and the delta for that option. If we wanted to make our own and customize this, we're going to go back up to the exact same menu as before, but this time we're going to come down here to customize. That'll then show us a list of all of the columns that we're currently using over here on the right, and then all the columns that we could use over here on the left-hand side. So just for example's sake, I'm going to come in here and I'm also going to add theta just by double-clicking on it. I'm also going to add vega. And since we've pretty much got all the Greeks on here, I might as well throw gamma on here as well. And I could actually just click on it here, but I wanted you guys to see that we could search for it up here at the top simply by typing it in. Again, we could either double click on it or just click on it, add item. And I'm also going to move it around a little bit. Gamma makes more sense being just below delta. So now I've added those. I'll just come down here and hit OK. And again, now we can see those new columns have been added. So up here, we still have those same 3 as before: implied volatility, probability out of the money, and delta. But then looking to the right, we also have gamma, theta, and vega. But when you get the chance, definitely take your time and customize this the way that makes the most sense for you. And the last thing I'll mention before we actually get into placing the actual trades themselves is the filters menu up here in the upper left-hand corner. So just for example, if I was to open this up, there's a lot of people out there who prefer just to see the calls or just see the puts. They don't like the fact that it shows both on the screen at the same time. So if you are one of those people, what we could do is come over here to where the side is at, and we could actually change that. So let's say I just wanted to see the puts. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And let's also say I wanted to change the expiration type from regular to, for whatever reason, only the weekly options. With both of those set, if I now click away, the only thing I'm going to see on this screen are weekly options, and the only thing I'm going to see is the put side. Now, for me personally, I don't like messing with these filters too much. I like to see pretty much everything, so I'm going to go ahead and reset that. And let's go ahead and minimize all these again. And now that we've done that, let's actually go through the process of placing an option trade within here, because I will admit there are a lot of different ways to do what I'm about to do. But to begin with, let's just say for this example, we just wanted to buy a very simple call option on Google. We thought Google was going to go up, and we wanted to buy a call option. Now, for this example, we're going to keep it simple. Let's just say we wanted to trade the 15th of November expiration. So we're going to go ahead and click on that to open it up. Since I'm going to be trading a call option, I'm going to be sticking to the left-hand side of the screen here. And for this one, let's say I'm looking to buy roughly a 60 delta call. So looking here at the delta for each of these options, it looks like the closest to that is going to be the 165 call, so just a little bit in the money. And if I look over here at the current bid and asking price, the prices that actually tell me what can I buy or sell this option for right now, it looks like it's currently going for $750 by $760. And remember, since it is an option contract, that $760 is really $760 per contract, because you always have to multiply this number times 100. But let's say that is the option I want to buy and I'm comfortable with that price. The first thing you have to remember is that within ThinkorSwim, whenever you want to buy something, you're going to click on the asking price. Whenever you want to sell something, you're going to click on the bid price. So in this example, because I am bullish on Google, I think the stock is going to go up, I'm looking at buying the call option. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the asking price of the 165 call. You can then see that as soon as I did that, an order ticket got built down here below. And if we just look through this order ticket from left to right, what it says is I want to buy 10, so 10 contracts of the Google 15 November 165 calls for $7.60 a piece. Now, just like in the examples that we went over with stock trades, it's going to be exactly the same for an option. So over here on the left, beginning with the quantity, if I didn't want to buy 10 and I only wanted to buy 1, I'm just going to go ahead and double click on that, type in 1. If for whatever reason I actually wanted to adjust the expiration or the strike price of the option, I could actually do it right from here by using either one of these inputs. I could also adjust the price if I wasn't comfortable paying $7.60. I could always drop that if I wanted to, saying, hey, I only want to get it for $7.35 if I can. I can also adjust the order type from a limit order to a market order to a stop, stop limit, trailing stop. Any of the order types that we discussed in the previous video, we can use on options. We can also adjust the time in force over here. If I didn't just want this order good for the day, but I want it to be good until canceled, basically going out every single day until it fills, I could always flip it over to GTC. And if I was happy with that, if I was happy with this order to buy one of the 165 calls for $7.35, I would just come down here and hit confirm and send. It'll then give me a little confirmation, just confirming that I still want to buy one for, it looks like $7.35. We can see my break even. We can see my max profit is infinite. My max loss is what I paid for the option. So in this case, $735. And if I'm happy with it, I'll just come down below and hit send. Now, once I've placed it, I can keep track of it by coming over here to the monitor page. And remember, right up here at the top, we can see all of our working orders. So the first one here, the order to buy one of the Google 165 calls, that's going to be the order we just placed. But then right below it, we placed these a little earlier to trade the Intel stock itself. But if I wanted to cancel either of these, I would simply right-click on it and then hit cancel order to outright cancel it. That order will no longer be active. Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt the video, but I just finished working on the beta of my very own trading journal. So those of you active traders out there, especially those of you who trade options, might find this especially useful. Here you're going to be able to quickly identify your performance by strategy, see a calendar of your daily profits and losses, and overall just create more detailed reports based on any of your filtered criteria. So check it out using the link below or head over to traderlog.io to give it a try for free for 7 days. and use the code TRADERLOG50 for 50% off. But enough of that, let's get back to the video. If we instead wanted to do what I just did while looking at a chart, what we could do is come up here to the charts page, and what we first want to do is get rid of this active trader. I don't need that for this example. And then what I like to do is add a second window to the right of this one where I'm going to put my option chain. So to do that, in order to add a second window to the right of this one, we're going to come up here to the little box in the upper right-hand corner. And then down below, we can actually select how many windows we want to have or how many charts we want to have. In this case, I just want to have 2. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the second square here. And because I always want this option chain to be for the stock I'm currently trading over here on the left-hand side, I'm actually going to link these 2 windows together. So if you look up here on my first chart, this one is linked to red 1. So I'm going to go ahead and link my second chart to the exact same color. And that way, it's always the same symbol in both of these windows. I can actually do the exact same thing to my watch list if I were to come over here to the left. And let's say I link that one to red as well. Now that they're all set to the same color, if I was to click on Meta, you're going to see that both charts switch to Meta. If I click on Tesla, both are going to change to Tesla. But now that we've got them both linked, remember, I don't actually want a second chart of Tesla over here on the right. What I want to do is come over to the side panel on the far right-hand side of that chart. And first off, I'm going to deselect the chart. So I'm completely getting rid of the chart, and I'm instead going to add an option chain over here. So now with my chart on the left and my option chain on the right, I can look at both of them simultaneously. I don't have to click back and forth to go between the screens to see what I want to see. And now with the option chain over here, let's say we wanted to buy a put option instead. So in this example, for whatever reason, we're bearish on Tesla. We're going to look at the, let's say the 22 November options. I want to trade a little bit further out of the money because these are quite pricey. So I'm going to come up here to where it says 4. And for this one, we're going to look at every single available strike. Now remember, in this example, I am looking at buying a put option because I'm bearish. So looking at the puts, that would be everything over here on the right-hand side. And keeping in mind that all of these ones in black are out of the money. And let's just say for this one, we were looking at the 155 puts, which if I look here, are currently trading for 54 cents by 58 cents. And if I want to buy it, I am simply going to click on the asking price of 58 cents. Just like before, it's going to build out an order ticket down here at the bottom of the screen. And you're going to see it is in green because remember, we are buying the puts. In this example, we're bearish, but we're still buying the puts. I can then adjust the quantity just like before. Let's say I only wanted to get 2 of these. We could adjust the expiration or strike price if we needed to. We can adjust the price. So in my example, let's say I only want to buy it if I can get them for 20 cents a piece. And because I've got a price in mind, I am going to leave it set as a limit order, but I could have adjusted that to market or stop limit. I'm going to leave it actually set as day because if this does not fill today, I just want it to cancel itself. And now with all of that done, all I have to do is come down here below and hit confirm and send, make sure everything looks right. So again, we're buying the 155 puts for 20 cents a piece. If we look down here, it says my break-even stock price is 154.80, which if we think about it, that makes sense. Because I'm buying the 155 puts, in order for me to break even, it has to move by at least what I'm paying for those puts. So in this case, it's going to be 155 minus the premium of 20 cents. So in this case, it makes sense, 154.80. We can see the max profit. This would theoretically be if I bought these puts and between now and expiration, Tesla went completely bankrupt. This could be the most I could ever make on this trade. Then down below it, we see the max loss, which in this case is $40, which is what we're paying for these options. Now to place it, all we'd have to do is hit send, and there we go. We can even see the order displayed right here on the chart, and we could even adjust it from here, just like always by simply right-clicking on the order, then saying either cancel to outright cancel it, or cancel/replace to edit it in some way. But that should get you started with the absolute basics of trading options within ThinkorSwim. Definitely stick around for the next video in the series where we're going to learn how to place much more advanced options trades like verticals and iron condors. Check it out here, and